So here we have it once again, the Insta360 Go Ultra, and I've been using this quite a lot actually over the past month and a half now. But has it really lived up to my expectations? And what's the biggest flaws with this camera? In today's video, I want to share my long-term experience and hopefully help you decide whether or not the Go Ultra is a camera for you and if it's actually worth getting considering all the cameras that we have on the market now. But first, I want to show you a sequence with some of the clips that I capture on this little guy right here, so you can get an idea of what it looks like. I also think this is the best way to highlight any camera, to share some clips which is edited and unedited, just so you can see the capabilities of what this camera has to offer. Let's have a look.
Nu ser du av det jag ser.
Oj.
Ja.
I must say, it's definitely one of the easiest cameras to use if you want to capture videos and movements like these that you just saw and still get better image quality compared to other smaller cameras in the same category. But what makes this camera so great and what makes it really bad? Some people have mixed feelings about this camera, so hopefully at the end of this video we can get to the bottom of that and I can help you decide whether these bad things are really bad and if the good things are really good or really bad. Let's start with the good things and the things I appreciate with this camera, which is a small cube-like action camera, which is pretty versatile and convenient to use. And also, if you're new to this channel, I want to say welcome. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to drop your thoughts down below, as well as any included questions you might have of this camera, and also make sure to hit that subscribe and like button. Drop your comments down below, that would be highly appreciated. Now, talking about the Ultra and the pros of this camera here. Firstly, the compatibility with the Mic Air, which is now available after the latest firmware update on the Mic Air itself, and the Go Ultra is a huge benefit for me, since I use a variety of Insta360 cameras, the Ace Pro 2 as my main high quality action camera, I would say, and the X5 as my main travel camera to get endless options, to get endless videos, endless reframing options, basically endless angles is what I meant. And also the Ultra now, which is somewhat my main POV camera. Haven't yet decided yet, but it's definitely on that path. What I mean is that I can use the same mic now for all my cameras, which is pretty convenient. Usually I've been taking both the Mic Mini from DJI and the Mic Air from Insta360 with me because the Mic Air hasn't been compatible with the Ultra. But now that it is, I only have to bring one of them. Now, when it comes to a battery and the performance, battery life, heating issues, and so on the Ultra, I'm actually really impressed with this camera. From how I've been using it over the past months and how I've been testing it here in the studio, it's been nothing but reliable. So all the battery specs, I'm just gonna leave those on the screen right here. I don't remember them right now, but what I've been getting with the Ultra here in 4K 30 FPS and the resolution I normally use, I think that is what matters, not the specs and whatever sits on the papers. But I've been getting about 1 hour and 40 minutes ish on average, which is pretty impressive with such a small camera. Well, it's small when you take it out, but when this mounted in the action pod, it's just like a regular action camera. Now, the longest I've been able to record for with the camera unit itself was about 50 minutes before it ran out of battery when I did a motorcycle ride. 50 minutes, that's more than enough for what I'll end up using it for anyway, so I'm extremely happy with that. And no overheating issues, nothing. And my recent test here in the studio with the Ultra was also between the Go 3S, which we have here, and also the Osmo Nano. And of course, the Go 3S won again. It seems like it wins every single test that I do, and no matter which camera I compare it to, it always wins for some reason. And in that test, the Nano was the absolute worst before and even after the latest firmware update, which were supposed to fix the heating issue with the Osmo Nano. But in my case, there was only a minute or two difference compared to the Ultra, which recorded for a total of almost 2 hours. So for me, that's a red flag when it comes to the Osmo Nano. The last thing I want to do is to pay for something that I already have experienced with the Action 2 many years ago. So a red flag for me. Still have a couple of days left until I decide whether or not I should return it or keep it. But you know. As for versatility, the Ultra has a huge advantage over, let's say, the Nano here, which is Insta360's direct competitor in the small action camera market. Small. They have, you know, the same size as a regular action camera, so don't get fooled by the small size. It works best when you have it connected to the screen. The same goes for the Nano, the same goes for the Ultra here. So it is the same size as a regular action camera almost. So here we have the Ace Pro 2 and the Go Ultra. So small, no. Versatile, easy to use because it's a modular design, yes. But if you're in the market for a small action camera and perhaps a wireless microphone to make the audio sound better, like the DJI Mic Mini, the problem here when it comes to versatility, when you connect the Mic Mini to the Nano here, or any other mic for that matter, you won't be able to see yourself on the screen unless you have it connected to the media mod here or the touchscreen. And I think this cooks down to the heat management and that the battery drains so fast on the screen module. So in order to prevent the screen module from running out of battery, DJI has basically removed this option. So if you want to capture videos with the camera unit itself and you want to have better audio and use the screen module separate to check the framing, for example, you won't be able to do that with the Osmo Nano, which is kind of a bummer. But with the Ultra, it's completely fine. You can do whatever and still be able to see the screen when you pop the camera out of the action pod and you have a microphone connected. Hopefully DJI will fix this in the future, but for me, this is just another reason to return the Nano because I don't know when or even if this will get fixed in the future. So here's a quick test with the audio coming from the mic ear connected to the Go Ultra here. And what I can do is just to show you how convenient this is. So here I have the Go Ultra and here I have the action pod, and as you can see I can connect the mic to the action pod and I can still pop out the Go Ultra and still be able to see myself when the microphone is connected, which is something I can't do with the Osmo Nano. Another thing I really like with the Ultra, even though it goes back to the first Ace Pro and the Go 3, is the flip screen. This is one of the most underrated features on this camera, and the ability to just move the screen into a position to make it easier to capture videos is really, really awesome. And it's probably the one thing that I like the most about these Insta360 action cameras, the Ace Pro 2, the Go 3S here, and the Ultra. It's just so easy to use. And I also mentioned it in my comparison video between these three cameras here, the Ultra, the Nano, and the Go 3S. For me, that has short ones running around. It makes it so much easier to capture videos both high and low and still be able to control and flip the screen as I want to make sure that I always have the proper framing and make sure that they're always in frame. And this is something you can't do with the Nano, but you can do it with the Go Ultra. And for me, it's a huge plus, a huge must-have, because I use it a lot when I film and record videos with my kids. If you don't have kids, the story might be completely different, but you know, once you go flip screen, there is no going back, in my opinion. It's a fantastic feature, and I think it should be highlighted in more videos, to be honest, because it is awesome. And to me, this is what really separates the Ultra from the Nano here, that I don't have to physically take the camera off, turn it around and pop it back into place. So you actually have to remove it every single time depending on the video you want to capture and how you want to use this camera, which is quite a downgrade from something that has a flip screen. And this is just my personal opinion based on my personal experience and how I use multiple action cameras. Having a flip screen is game changer. Though this isn't a comparison video between the two or the three here, I still think it's important to know the biggest differences just in case you're looking at both. Now let's talk about image quality. I think the Ultra produces some amazing videos. The active HDR is a little bit off here and there, but I always have the option to turn that active HDR off, which is nice. And for certain videos like sunny days with a few clouds, I don't think the HDR do a really good job here, but at least we have the option to turn it on or off. So it's not really a con because we have the option to decide. Just be aware that some of those clouds might look a bit artificial with the active HDR on. But once you get your Go Ultra, links down below, you can go out and record, do some test videos yourself with the active HDR on and off, and then decide based on the results that you get. Now, one of the biggest drawbacks for me though is the lack of a flat color profile. The same flat color profile I have on the Go 3S and the Ace Pro 2, and even after a few updates, it's still not present. This is a profile I started using with my Go 3 back in the days, which really made that camera pop. So I would really like to see this added with a future firmware update Insta360. Not sure why it's not there already, but you guys, you need to put this in ASAP, really. But the good thing about the standard color profile is that I don't have to edit the footage later, which I would have to do with a flat color profile. So I guess there's benefits to both, and I definitely see a smoother and faster workflow when using the Ultra here with the standard color profile. But talking about image quality, we also have pure video on the Ultra here, which is the Ultra's low light shooting mode. Now, I do find the Ultra to do a decent job when it comes to a low light. It's not as good as the Ace Pro 2, of course, but it's more than usable for everyday videos like travel, motor rides, or vlogs, just to mention a few. So let's have a look at some low light samples here so you can decide for yourself whether the low light image quality coming from this one is good enough or just garbage. When it comes to design, I think this is where people have some mixed feelings, and I keep seeing words like bulky. I mean, to me, it's perfect. It's really secure and sturdy on my chest when I use the pendant, and when I compare this to the Go 3S and the Nano, it's not really that bad or bulky or big, is it? I actually think the Nano looks better, but from experience, it's also bulkier to use because it's not really as small as people say. So here's a side-by-side of the Nano and the Ultra with and without the action pod and the multifunctional screen, the one with the long name. Now, to me, there's not much difference in how they feel when they are connected to the screens. And without the screen, the Nano feels a little bit bigger. But they're both small cameras and smaller than a regular action camera, so at the end, both might be more convenient to use than others, depending on your use case. But personally, I do prefer the look, design, and versatility that I have with the Go Ultra, especially with the flip screen. It's just my personal opinion after using both for quite a while now. When it comes to features on this one, there's a lot. Maybe too much. Personally, I mostly use video on this camera and sometimes photos. So I could actually be without all these additional features, and maybe that would make the battery run even longer. Maybe the camera could be even smaller. I don't know. Maybe Insta360 should make a Go Ultra Light version, which had minimal features but the same image quality, like GoPro is doing with their Hero cameras. So let me know your thoughts on that down in the comment section. Go Ultra Light, that would be When it comes to the features, we have a lot of them. We have time-lapse, we have hyperlapse, we have slow motion, kids mode, free frame, we have loop record, pure video mode for low light intervals, and so on. And when we swipe it down, it's even more. We have endurance mode, we have grid, level indicator, highlights, audio, voice, a screen reader, time capture, and there is so much. There's so many options, which is good. And I really like that Insta360 is adding all these features, because when you buy a camera like this, you might not expect that you would need all the features other than video mode for POV and maybe photos. But as you progress and get more creative, and maybe you want to use some other features as well, this camera already have those features waiting for you, which is fantastic. But for the average guy that just want to capture normal videos and that's it, it might feel a bit overwhelming. But it's still good that these features are there. If I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't use any of them. Not a single additional feature. Video, maybe photos sometimes. I use pure video and I use a free frame. Those are the 4 features that I actually use. So that ultra light, that would actually be pretty interesting. Let me know again. Thoughts down in the comments below. Ultra light, a fraction of the price. Yeah, let's do it. Now let's talk about audio. In my opinion, I think the Go Ultra here, out of all the small cameras, the Ultra has the best internal microphones. I've been going through multiple clips between these cameras here, and I honestly think that the Ultra sounds the best. But you can decide for yourself. Here's a few audio clips with the Ultra and the Nano. And this is an audio test with the Insta360 Go Ultra, the Go 3, and the DJI Osmo Nano. I'm having the cameras about an arm's length away from me. Which one sounds better? Is it the Go Ultra, or is it the Nano, or is it the Go 3S? All cameras are using the widest field of view now. So that is action view on the Ultra, ultra wide on the Nano, and action view on the Go 3S. So which one sounds better? Let me know in the comments below. So those are all the good things about this camera. Let's talk about the things I don't like about this camera after using it for months now. The first thing is quite obvious now, which is internal storage. I don't think it's a deal breaker, but we're in 2025 and DJI has taken the lead when it comes to internal storage for sure. The Nano has internal storage, the Action 5 Pro has internal storage, their drones have internal storage, and even the Osmo 360 has internal storage. So where Insta360 got lazy, DJI gave people the best of both worlds. So internal storage and ability to use micro SD cards if you should end up recording more than what you actually have internally. But not to overhype this, back in the days we still managed to record our videos just fine by using SD cards. So just because the Ultra only runs with micro SD cards and not internal storage isn't a big deal to me. But I gotta say, having internal storage could mean that you don't have to buy micro SD cards at all, depending on how much you record and the settings you use, and how much internal storage the unit you get has. Also, how often you dump the files. That is also crucial. So in theory, you don't have to buy a micro SD card. But I would still love to see Insta360 adding this to their future cameras. At this time, it feels like this is the only part where they're falling short. But I think this will come very soon. So hopefully by next year we will see all the new releases that Insta360 is pushing out, including that internal storage as well. Another thing which is a bigger con for me is the lack of a flat color profile. Like I mentioned earlier, it's really convenient to use the standard color profile to just run and gun and upload videos, but when I really want my travel videos to pop, I would prefer to use that flat color profile, like the one that I have on my Ace Pro 2, the X5 and also the Go 3S. But this might not be a con for everyone. You might be, just happy with the standard color profile, but for me, I think this is what this camera needs. So it is going to be a con for me, and it should be added with a firmware update already. I also think there's probably many other cons that people might have here, and if you have different things about the Ultra you don't like, make sure to drop them down below. But for me, this is actually it. This is the cons that I have. It's mainly the color profile, and if I'm being completely honest, I still prefer to use a physical SD card over internal storage any day. So for me, it's nice to have, but I can easily live without it. It's not something that would prevent me from buying this camera. So at the end, is the Ultra worth getting? The answer is yes, of course. It's a fantastic camera and it offers the same or some of the same qualities from both the Go 3S and the Ace Pro 2 with the added pure video for low light. And I think this is the only and maybe the first camera I would actually recommend over the X5 if you want a versatile camera but you don't feel like editing those 360 videos. I still haven't taken the Ultra on a longer trip though, so it's hard to say how it performs in my ultimate testing environment, also called Hawaii, but as of everyday use here at home, this camera is really hard to beat if you want top performance and decent image quality. I also recommend you to check out my X5 and Ace Pro 2 videos so you can see how those cameras compare to something like the Ultra here. And watching these 3 videos, you might get a few ideas of how to capture better and amazing travel videos, as well as finding the right camera for you. So that's going to be it for my long-term review of the Ultra here. I hear my voice is starting to fade off, so links to everything is down below for the convenience, and don't forget to hit that subscribe and drop your thoughts down below, and that would be appreciated too. So until next time, take care, bye bye.